The John Deere strike is officially over. After rejecting two previous offers, 10,000 striking workers at the United Auto Workers at John Deere have agreed to a new 6-year contract by a vote of 61 to 39%. Now, in a minute here, I will get to what they were able to accomplish, showing you once again that labor action works. This is the only way to really show your power and the value that you offer a company. I mean, especially a company like John Deere. It's all about the workers. And this is part of the reason why there was that strike, because they were aware of these sorts of profits and who was making the money. So as Bernie tweeted out back on October 14th, profits at John Deere have skyrocketed by some 61% in recent years, while its CEO salary exploded by 160% since the start of the pandemic. So not all that surprising to see executives be greedy, but workers being aware of that, understanding their value, and that they're the ones responsible for those profits, simply wanted a piece of it. And luckily, they were able to come to an agreement. So before I get there, one last thing I want to remind you about. I did a video on this as well. Back in, so when the labor stoppage first began, John Deere tried hiring scab workers and immediately had a tractor crash in its plant. So John Deere actually tried to put in salaried workers to replace some of these warehouse workers. And yeah, didn't go too well. Again, showing you the value of these union workers. Now, here is the whole process, the first two agreements, and what they ended up with at the end of it. So, as Washington Post writes here, the first contract agreement reached between Deere and the UAW negotiators on October 1st offered immediate raises of 5 to 6%, depending on the job, and an additional 3% in 2023 and 2025. It also proposed eliminating pensions for new hires. Workers rejected the offer by a wide margin. The second agreement offered an immediate 10% raise and an $8,500 ratification bonus, plus 5% raises in 2023 and 2025. Deere workers rejected that one too, but the vote was closer, 55% to 45%. The latest contract made modest modifications to the second offer. The UAW said workers said those included tweaks to how Deere calculates bonuses for workers who meet production targets. And just to be a little more specific on that in terms of what they got out of this contract, an immediate pay raise doubled to 10%, two future 5% raises, cost of living adjustments, an $8,500 bonus, pensions restored for new hires, and in retirement, up to $250 a month extra, plus $2,000 bonus per year of service. So there you go. Striking works. They got what they wanted, and it's good to see that at the end of the day, John Deere understood that these people were worth more than they were making, and were forced to come to this agreement because of the labor action. Now, one last thing here, in terms of how people felt about this, because I find this very interesting. Iowa is not really known as a deep blue state, but they sided with the workers. So the Des Moines Register writes here, at least in Iowa, the strikers had wide public support. A Des Moines Register Mediacom Iowa poll conducted November 7th to 10th shows 58% of Iowa adults mostly side with the workers, with just 16% mostly siding with Deere. Support cut across political, age, gender, income, educational, urban, and rural divides. Showing you that when there is a situation like this where the public is aware of what is going on, Iowa, a smaller state, a lot of people know someone, I'm sure, that works at John Deere, so they're a lot closer to this story. When they're aware of the profits John Deere is making, aware of what the workers are asking for, they are more likely to side, the majority of them will side with the working class, because the public themselves are largely the working class. This again shows you not only, of course, that I just said that striking works, but also when it comes to politics. These lessons can be applied to political leaders trying to run for office and understanding not only how they can win, but also what the right thing to do is. Standing up for the working class, fighting for higher wages, for better working conditions, the ability for employees to unionize if they choose to. All of these things are very popular because the majority of people understand they don't have the power. Massive corporations, CEOs, billionaires, they have the power. The only way that workers are able to get that power back is by banding together and showing these companies who has the power, who is making the profits. So great on John Deere for what they are able to accomplish here. And again, it's a lesson for workers and a lesson for politicians. stand up for the working class.